Good evening. It is 5:01, and we're calling the Disability Advisory Committee to order. If we could stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance before we get this started. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good evening. It is Monday, December the 16th. All right, so let's do our roll call.
Elizabeth Harvey.
Jennifer David.
Amy Benavides.
Ashley Thomas.
Christina Gill. All right, welcome everybody. Ashley sent out our meeting notes this week. Did everybody get a chance to look over them? How did you look? Did you see any corrections or anything that looked like we need to make any adjustments on there? It looked good to me, I think.
I'll move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All right. I'll send the paper around. All right, let's get, I think the only old business we have to talk about tonight is just the trailer treats. Did everybody get to go to the trailer treats? Any adjustments or anything that you've seen that would need to be made in any way to help out the community?
I got to go briefly with my kid, but no, I kind of agree with you. You were kind of talking about having like a quieter space down there. I think would be nice, like something to get out of all of that busyness and noise. It can be extremely overstimulating.
Yeah, so I think next year is gonna be a lot different. There's gonna be a lot less construction centered around, so we should have some better opportunities for parking and some things like that. And maybe we can set up, I think we probably could just do like a small, like, you know, like the 10 by 10 canopy with the sides or something. We could maybe make a note to maybe do that next year instead of worrying about like handing out anything. Just have
A quiet space.
a quiet space somewhere off the beaten path. Maybe.
What about doing, like they've done at times, having an hour before or something for people's session to go through the trail? Is it difficult for families to get through the trail?
I don't think it's difficult for the families to get through the trail. I don't
Is
remember.
it just
Why did we
overstimulating?
decide that?
Why
Why did
is
we
the-
say that wouldn't work? Because there was too many families that had like more than
Multiple
yeah,
kids, I
like
think,
multiple
was
kids, and then
part of it, and then people getting off work and getting there to get set up to have the hour
Yeah.
beforehand would have been
yeah.
Hard.
difficult. And I mean, they were lined up
Waiting for people to get
half
set up.
hour,
Yeah.
45 minutes, I feel like, beforehand.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
nonstop.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much why we decided that wasn't an option for the trailer treats
Yeah.
thing. Now, the Easter, that will be more of a focus for the, you know, yeah. And then they've got some different ideas this year too already, the Parks Department, because of things not working out well the last event. So they're working on some new things to try to make that move more slow, or, you know, a lot slower for the kids and smoother for the kids, because it was still kind of crazy this year. But hopefully they'll have that, they got plenty of time to get that worked on for then. But yeah, the trailer treats is just, it's kind of hard to do anything early with that. And I think everything was good besides that. I didn't hear anybody, there was a lot of people. That's what we want, so.
Do we have an idea of how many people went through? Did anybody keep?
I don't know.
I
if
mean,
there's
if
any
Treva had
way to even.
Treva had the books with, so she would have a baseline of how many families went through based on that, but those went out quickly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was gone.
That
before we
was,
got there.
Yeah, I mean, those
I
went
mean,
very
that was-
quickly, so.
those were gone before I even
It's a
came
low
down the
number.
hill.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I went up and set Outward Bound up, and then I came down the hill in like less than 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
that was already over, so, yeah. After that, it was chaos. Yeah, I don't, there would be no way to count really, because you have so many entrances. People were coming in from, you know,
Yeah.
H&R Block, from the stairs, from
Right, from the
both
back,
bridges, you
yeah.
know, both sides that way, so there would be definitely no way to count.
Last year, I know the Little League that had pre-made bags or somebody, and so they had, whatever it was, 1,000 of them or something.
I think I made 1,000.
She made
I mean, I
1,000.
had some left, but at least for the trailer treat. there was a
Yeah.
lot.
That was a lot of people.
They told us how many pieces of candy to bring in. I think I was pretty close, so. Whatever Brian emailed everybody, I think it was close.
You brought pretty close to the bags. I don't think you brought probably 10 times the amount of candy.
Oh, well, yeah, because I did multiple. I was trying to get rid
Yeah.
of everything.
And I don't know who did the cup. Whoever did the cup.
That was nice.
That was
Oh,
great.
yes,
Lot of
yes,
work.
that was neat. Somebody
Lot of
made the
work.
cup with
Yeah,
the
I'd like to know
stuff
how many cups they gave out. Yeah, we need to figure out who those people were.
in. At that time of year, business is like, we're just trying to get, like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was great. There was some great stuff in there.
yeah, the kids seemed to enjoy it. I thought it went
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah. Okay, well then we'll move on. New business wise, really the only upcoming event is the live reindeer event on Monday, December 23rd. I believe that is 5 to 10 p.m. for that. I'm not sure what all activities they have down there this year. In the past, they had the reindeer, the princesses, Santa, several vendors, food trucks. So I think they're on the same path as that. Parking, basically the same as trailer treats. They'll have the H&R Block blocked off again for handicap, and the down where our basketball court is. But we do ask that, you know, those kind of be reserved for people with a van, with wheelchairs, you know, people that have harder time mobility-wise getting to those events, because we are limited on parking at this point, so we want to be able to make sure that the ones that are, you know, have a harder time with mobility can get down there and enjoy these festivities. You know, because once you get parked and down the hill there, you know, there's the pathway is great. I mean, the sidewalks are excellent for wheelchairs. You know, I don't think anybody has any trouble getting around the circles there that I know of. I know that there has been a little bit of questions about the square being blocked off during the holiday time, and, you know, just want everybody to understand that it is really for safety for the train, for the staff on the train, for the people riding the train, because in the past few years there have been a couple incidents where people are on the square watching the lights, they're excited, they get, you know, kids are in the car, they back up. Last year, train got hit. You know, luckily there was no injuries to any person, just a little damage to the train. But, you know, so that is why the square is being blocked off on the inner part of the square. I understand that it does make it a little difficult for people to be able to park and have greater access to the square, but, you know, the greater good is it will help people, you know, not having any injuries or, you know, anything like that. That way that they can safely access, you know, once they get there. Did anybody else have anything they want to add on any of that? guys are lively tonight. Jennifer is not officially, I guess, sworn in, or however you want to say it, till our January meeting, but she's going to be in Puerto Rico for 100 days, so, we can't swear her in January when we, for our January stuff, so. But she is going to be joining our group. I'm not really exactly sure if she's replacing Marissa. Is that, did we decide that's who it is?
As a person with a disability.
As a person with a disability, yes.
Surprise one. Surprise.
So I'll let Jennifer introduce herself and briefly talk about her newly diagnosis and what she's bringing us.
Oh, let's see, I am bringing you me, which is a whole ball of fun. So I recently learned that I am on the autism spectrum, which I had absolutely no idea. And I also have ADHD. So when you see me running around town, here, there, and everywhere, that is my ADHD. When you don't see me for a while, that's my autism. And when you see me with not any kind of look on my face, that is me thinking intensely about everything. So that is what I hope to bring here to help you guys on the advisory committee and in Charlestown. I'm already jotting down notes of things. So it's funny because I don't know if any of you really know this, but I recommended the advisory board to Triva. So it's just crazy to actually be back here as a person with a disability. So I pretty much know everyone here. So. Yeah, let me know what I can do to help. Even though I'm gone, I will be working. That's one of the reasons I'm going away, is to be able to concentrate and work.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
Thank you.
You've come full circle.
I sure have. It's so crazy. But I'm not. I mean, which is okay. Mental health matters. It is very important, but that's just one of the things I'll be speaking more about is mental health and yeah.
All right. So a little bit about our goals. We can kind of have some goals set for 2025. I want to focus on what we want this group to be about truly. So if you guys want to like come up with some things and kind of send out to me in the next few weeks, like the things you guys want to see that we are able to be a part of in the city of Charlestown would be fabulous. Also, we need to figure out our next meeting date before we end tonight.
Are we able to push our time back? I feel like this time, meeting at 5, is difficult for Cindy to get here a lot of times.
So on Mondays, we were kind of like stuck on that by the day, just specifically because normally there would be a council meeting after us. That's not tonight though, right? Yeah. So we can get with, I can get with the calendar and get some dates with Triva and some times, and then also with Charles to set up our sound and stuff. So it was just the easiest
Yeah.
when it got started because
Absolutely.
he's already here
Yep.
and for
Yeah.
the other meetings.
Yeah. I just wondered if it wouldn't be easier
No, we can.
to have a little
No, I
bit
can get the
later.
calendar and figure out some
Just-
other times and days with them. It might take a couple weeks, so yeah, I guess we should kind of hold off then, I guess, on that until I can talk with Triva about the calendar. I'll email her tonight. And then at that first meeting, we would decide on if we want to keep our officers the same, or if anybody wants to step down, or if anybody wants to step up. That will be on the agenda for the first meeting of the year. And then we do need to decide, once we get the dates and times, how often we want to meet. Like, and go ahead and get those set on the calendar for the full year of meetings, if we're gonna do it quarterly or bi-monthly or something like that. I know normally we just kind of play it by ear on the events, but it would be a lot nicer with vacations and things like that if we could just have it already made up. I know it's a lot easier for Liz and will be easier for Jennifer too, that way probably for Christina, I don't know. I'm kind of open on everything, I forgot all about it. Teresa messaged me at 4 and I was like, oh, yeah, my bad.
I was that better. I called you.
I was literally like shoveling tacos in my face to walk out the
That's
door.
what I had to.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, oh, 4:05, okay, yeah.
If you do quarterly, I mean, do you have subcommittees? Because you could, well, I don't know, I guess, I don't know how it's structured, but because you could do formal quarterly meetings and then subcommittees if you had any, like the events or something. That's not as formal.
Well, I guess we kind of did, which
I thought I
event
heard
did
you
we
say
do?
something
Yeah, we did.
about it,
I don't remember
subcommittee.
which event that, was it Easter? We met, but we didn't have a meeting, we just discussed some stuff for Easter, I think.
We were supposed to do a workshop for the fashion show
Oh, yeah, that's
thing,
fashion show, yeah.
and then we didn't have the quorum for it.
Yeah.
Subcommittees can be, I don't know a ton about nonprofits, I'm just learning, but you can do subcommittees, like you could have standing ones and you can have some that are just like maybe for an event or something like that, and those are much less.
Yeah, I think we could do
Formal.
what they call the workshops for the events, so, yeah, okay.
I think it'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Coming up for next year.
Yeah, so we could add maybe, definitely for Easter. I gotta see if we're gonna do the fashion show again.
And that
I'll
might
check
help
on
you.
that.
If you get together all the events that the city does, kind of look at those and then kind of maybe setting some goals like you were asking
Yeah.
people for certain things. And then that, if you have that information, then that can kind of help guide
Yeah.
you with planning for the year. And then you can also plan like maybe a subcommittee starting beginning of September or something to work on the trailer tree.
Yeah,
You can have some little ones.
yeah. We'll have, I think they should be figuring up the city calendar here short. I guess they're probably working on that now.
Yeah.
For
this
the
is
year,
time.
yeah, it's that time, yeah. So, yeah, I'll get with them about that too and figure things out. Do we have anything in the audience that anybody wanted to share? We got,
I think most of you know me.
Yeah.
I'm Chuck Deaton, if you don't, with the city council, and I wanted to come up. I saw that the meeting was going on tonight, but if there's anything that we could ever help with, or you want us to consider, or you want to put on an event and there's something that we can do, just letting y'all know, holler at me. Be happy to come up and help in any way I can. Happy to support anything y'all need. So I just kind of wanted to come up and see what it was all about.
and then let me ask you a question while we got you here.
I got one.
Was everybody here?
I got one for you too.
I already knew your light bulb went on.
Go ahead.
ahead and
Get
step
up here.
step to the thing.
Thank you for coming.
Yes. We were,
Come on up.
the last meeting,
Yeah.
Tree was gonna bring the plan, but then we didn't have a quorum, didn't have the meeting, so we didn't end up doing that. But just, how is that working out?
Which
The
plan?
Little League renovation. how's
She goes to the Board of Public Works tomorrow.
Okay.
I know she's got they've been working on some stuff, so I know she's got the details of that. I don't have any
that? Okay,
details
so you
of
don't
that,
have the
but,
details, okay.
I know some things, I know she's gonna talk to them. I was gonna try to be here, but I won't have to watch it and do the work, but
Okay,
I know a lot of things are going good with the parks and the committee here, and I watch a lot of the videos and, not usually able to make it at 5 o'clock, but I was in town early this afternoon, so I thought I'd stop up, but, I know we worked several different events and, I know we done something with Little League a couple years ago.
That's what I was gonna ask,
And
if
I
you
know
were
we
gonna
would-
do that again.
That was a blast.
And we would, it was a blast. It was truly a good time. The bad part is it all usually depends upon weather, because the field we have to use is one of those that it's all dirt, so the more compact it is, the better off you are. It worked out well 2 years ago. It was a little bit cold, but it did work out. So hopefully we're able to do that again this year.
What about seeing about doing it in one of the schools and just planning?
What is
seeing-
it?
Doing it at one of the schools?
Doing it
Indoor?
with the school, you gotta go through a lot, with a lot of the red tape with the schools. You have to fill out a facility usage form and different stuff like that. Being at the Little League, it worked out very well because you had a city event that was planned by the Parks Department, which has always been a great event. And we were able to incorporate, our kids with them, and it worked out very, very well. And I know that the MLB players that the city set up, Carrie does a great job with it.
Oh, yeah. I
Those
forgot about them.
those guys were extremely excited about it. I think every one of them ended up coming over at one time. So, but, I mean, if we could do it up there, it kind of cuts a lot of the red tape out, is what we noticed. That's why we tried to have it there.
Yeah, I mean, the
And
weather.
we're looking
happens,
at-
you never know.
We're looking at doing some work to a couple of the fields, so it may end up working out a little bit better this year. And I was gonna talk to, I'm on the Little League board still, kinda hit and miss type thing until if something takes off the Little League, I'm gonna have to step away from that and do the council side of it, but, we do try to make sure that we incorporate everybody. And we wasn't able to do it last year. Last year, it turned out, I think we had some rain and we kinda knew it in the forecast, and it was really hard to plan, but hopefully we can plan it again coming up this coming year, and maybe even plan a rainout day. So, I know you were there, and it was an
It
absolute
was-
blast if you wasn't.
It was a great time.
So-
I think on behalf of us all that we wanted to be a part of that, like, well, you know, and help you guys.
Right.
You know, get that set up. That was something we talked about.
And doing that, I mean, it was a good event, but trying to find the right people to be a part of that program is not an easy venture. I mean, it's something that we need to all work together doing that. So if this committee would do that with the Little League and the city and kind of work that in, I think Lucas Green is the president. I think he would be completely good to go with that. And I think the city can work it into that MLB event because it doesn't cost any more to bring another player, and that's what they did that year for us. So it kind of worked out. And I would just say, talk to the mayor about that.
Yeah.
And Carrie, talk to the mayor first, but it worked out very well a couple years ago, and it was literally gonna win. We did it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think with this committee, it could be an even better event.
Yeah, maybe we could make that our, you know, our thing, you know, because we've
Yeah.
been trying to figure out what could we do that would be like for our group, you know.
And let the Little League know, because
Yeah.
Little League reaches out to every league around. We reached out to Clarksville, has a Challenger League, the only one in Southern Indiana.
Are you wanting to form a challenger league, or are you
We
talking about
we
a one
don't have
event
the
thing?
field for that yet.
Okay,
So what we do is we tell everybody to go to Clarksville. They got a wonderful league.
right.
They really do. And there's people from everywhere down there, but as far as like the day out at the ballpark.
Okay, that's what I thought you were
That was what worked, and we brought people from that Challenger League down here for that. So there was people, a little bit of people from everywhere. Yeah, mostly from Charlestown, but other places as well.
How much is a field, do you know?
Hmm,
Do you know how much the field is?
how much it,
A special, do you have a specialized field?
Challenger field,
Yeah.
it's several,
100,000.
I don't wanna put
I
a
don't
number
know.
on it, but
But
I
it's-
know it's
This
Way
community
up
has a
there.
lot of people in this field, and
It's-
it's
it's-
growing.
usually 3 times the amount of a normal field, maybe 4. So,
And that's separate than the Parks Department, right? So the
what do you
facility,
mean?
who owns the facility where the?
It's worked out between the Little League and the mayor.
Okay, okay.
They have agreements worked out between them.
So it's the city and the,
Yep, city and Little League.
okay.
They work
But,
together.
And Treva, or the mayor.
Yeah,
makes
Treva
the
works with,
decisions on
Treva
how
works
to-
with Little League. She has,
That's what I thought, yeah.
since she's
okay.
been in office, I worked with her for, I think, the first 3 or 4 years, and Lucas has been, first 3 years, Lucas has been there as his second.
Okay.
So it works out pretty well.
Good, yeah, I was just wondering who owned the actual
Yeah. The ground's owned by the city.
ground, okay.
Yeah, just leased out to the Little League for, seems like ever now, since 1957, I guess you'd say. Been a long time.
Yeah.
But it, like I said, I mean, it was a good bid at the Little League, so
Yeah,
I
I
think, you've got someone on here that's already been a part of that and knows what we've done and knows what we can do to better that. I think a few of us know that, but, I think it would be another great event, so. But again, I just want to stop in and say if y'all ever need anything, or if I can help in any way, I can give you my cell phone number, you can reach out. It's posted everywhere, I'm sure.
Sure, it's on the website.
Huh?
Sure, it's on the
It's
website.
on the website, and my email's on there. I'm better with text and phone calls, but I do check my email. But that's about it. I just kind of want to see what everything's about.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have anything to add before we wrap it up? No? All right. Anybody want to call the motion to?
I will motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. All right. 5:28, we are adjourned.